Reardon, and it's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. And I follow an honourable member from the Scottish National Party, and once again I hope that, in the words of Bill Clinton, you will feel our pain in Scotland, because this is a level of debate that we have to put up with day and daily in the separation campaign, full of bluster and assertion and very little detail. But what I would like to do in the short time available to me is to perhaps put it in language which the ordinary man and woman in the street understand, because we face the biggest decision that we'll ever make on the 18th of September 2014. And I had high hopes that the debate would deal with all the big issues. But a businessman friend of mine in my constituency told me that he had a meeting with the SNP Treasurer in charge of the finances for the campaign. He asked the SNP Treasurer, how are you going to deal with the big issues when they come up, like currency? And he said, well, no, we won't. We're going to make lots of promises, and we're going to spend money before the campaign, and hopefully that's going to get us through. And I didn't believe that statement, but I do now, because I've read the Scottish Government's white paper, which contains no facts, no detail, and threatens the future of my country. And people should also realise that the debate in Scotland, and those that support a separate Scotland, is largely made up of cultural nationalists, people who believe, irrespective of the economic damage that separation would do, that Scotland must be a separate nation. I don't have a gripe with those people that believe in that particular brand of nationalism, but the rest of the people are Jerry Maguire, if I can use that term, Mrs Reardon, individuals when it comes to the debate, because they want someone to show them the money. They want someone to say, I'm going to be better off if Scotland separates and isn't part of the UK. And in last week's debate about the future of the UK, I, from my description, put the debate into three different boxes. The first one is the things that we know won't change. The second is the things that we know will change. And the third is the things which we'll have to negotiate on. And the SNP are trying to put as many issues as possible out of the negotiation box and into they won't change. And that's why we will keep the Queen, although Christine Graham, MSP, wants Annie Lennox to be the head of state in Scotland. We will... I'll give way.
Ian Paisley.
The unintended consequences which he touches on were touched upon last week in a speech by the leader of Sinn Féin, when he said that the United Kingdom hangs by a string. Is that not a very worrying statement that now shows how important this referendum is to everyone in the United Kingdom?
Mr Michael McCann.
Absolutely. Well, we've been in this union for 307 years and it's served us well, and I want to make sure it continues after the 18th of September 2014. But we have loads of statements about what won't change, and all the contradictions. We have the Queen, we have NATO, we want to be a member of NATO, Mrs Reardon, but we don't want nuclear weapons. And we have the fiasco over Europe, where we will waltz in, presumably it will be a Vienna waltz, and we will keep our rebate, and we will be delighted that everyone will welcome us in as a member of the European Union.
And McCann.
But you'll be aware that the Scottish Government said that universities in Scotland will be better off under separation. But today, the EU Education Commissioner has confirmed that their proposed policy on tuition fees for students from the rest of the United Kingdom is illegal. Does your man or friend believe that this is yet again where they have been proven unsuccessful?
Absolutely. It's a significant nail, Mrs Reardon, in the case for separation. But really, all these things make a mockery of the debate, because people in Scotland want a truly open and honest debate with all these big issues discussed, flaws and all, and we don't get it. It reminds me of the quote, Mrs Reardon, from Groucho Marx, who said, I don't want to belong to any club that will accept me as a member. Alex Salmond says that he has to set the rules before he'll decide to join the NATO, European Union or currency clubs. And in terms of what happens in the street and what people talk about, it's as simple as this, and we should retrace our steps of the debate on currency. Alex Salmond's first position about the euro actually made an awful lot of sense when he said it, because we would leave the United Kingdom, we would become a separate state, we would have to apply for membership of the EU, and as part of applying for membership as a new state, we would have to accept the euro as our currency. But then what we know, and my honourable friend exposed that argument cruelly earlier on, is the euro debate to euro currency all caved in when the crisis came. And the arguments have been very well set out by my honourable friends. But the SNP take us, then bring us back to the pound as our currency. And again, it's been mentioned that Alex Salmond described it as a millstone round Scotland's neck. But if Scots vote for independence, there will be massive uncertainty because negotiations will be required in all those issues. At the moment, we have the pound as our currency. The Bank of England is our lender of last resort, which means that when we pool and share risk, interest rates will be the same in Land's End as they will be in John O'Groats. And in the event of separation, we know that the SNP propose that we have a currency of a foreign state. We know that there will be no political and fiscal union. Scotland then becomes, and this is a really important thing for the man and women and women in the streets of Scotland, Scotland then becomes a higher risk. As a result, our interest rates will increase. That means we'll have to spend more money in mortgages, more money in loans, more money on credit cards. The cultural nationalists will accept that because they will pay any price for separation. But most canny Scots will not. Mrs Reardon.
Ian McKenzie.